Jackson is executive director of the blacksphere.net and is a Fox News contributor. Wendy Osefo, excuse me, Wendy, I'm sorry, is a professor at Johns Hopkins University and political commentator. Wendy, let me start with you since I didn't say your name properly.
Oh, thank you.
So the White House is saying, and the Justice Department is saying, this is actually not happening. But when I read your reaction to it, obviously there is some concern amongst the African American community that there could be a decision by the Justice Department to go after these kind of cases. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it was just a concern amongst the African American community. I think it was a concern amongst educators as a whole, and as far as higher education is concerned, we have to make sure that students, regardless of their color, they are given equal opportunity, because we have empirical data that says that those who come from underrepresented minority groups have been statistically marginalized when it comes to the higher education practices. So for individuals to jump out on this story and quickly say, this was against white students, and that's where they were going with this. There's definitely some pullback that needs to be done to make sure we have all of our ducks in a row before people jump out. But however, if the White House is saying that this is not what they're doing, then we, are okay with that, right? Because we know that black and brown students are statistically marginalized in higher education.
But Kevin, the Justice Department is saying that this was a false story, but you actually think that maybe they should take this on.
Absolutely they should. The marginalization of blacks in higher ed comes from the fact that you can score so much lower than an Asian student. I think you have to score a 1085 and an Asian kid has to score a 1310 to get into the same school. So I don't blame Asians for doing that. But the worst thing about this is that the what they call the racism of low expectations. Look, my son is a Wharton grad. He got in, graduated magna cum laude, and he's now performing in his real job in a very good way. And it's because he's a bright kid. And it didn't matter that there was affirmative action or whatever. When are we going to lose the crutch? Here's what I can tell you, Dana. No white kid is trying to get into an HBCU, a historically black college university. You're not going to see the racist activities of those schools that are overwhelmingly black being pursued by white kids. Why? Because those schools aren't performing at the level of Harvard. So the discrimination is right in your face with HBCUs, but when it comes to actual schools like Harvard that should be based on your ability to do the job, we placate to the black community.
All right, Wendy, let me have you respond to that.
So everything he said is statistically dubious and it's incorrect. First of all, affirmative action benefits white females the most, and that is the fact. Furthermore, before we start pulling the race card, which is what this gentleman is doing, let's state the facts. 2.4 million unemployed black people make up the United States population. There are 112 unemployed white Americans. So there's more white Americans that are unemployed. So even if we use affirmative action to give every black person a job, that will only affect 2% of the white population. So let's not sit here, excuse me, reclaiming my time. Let's not sit here and say that everything is based on race when it's not. There are black students who perform at high levels and they have a rightful place in any Ivy League institution.
Okay, here's the thing that we all agree on.
Black kids.
We all agree.
Black kids that perform at higher levels, and that's the way it should be. Look, you can look at the statistics. Blacks are historically underemployed, period.
I don't know where you're getting your facts from, if it's from the back of a cookie jar, but you're clearly wrong.
We're out of time.
Yes, we're out of time, but here's a fact. We all want people to succeed. And so we can work together on that. All right, thanks to you both.